Hi, my name is Hannah Plotkin, and I really wanted to talk about a lesson that I love teaching, which is adding and subtracting fractions. So, some things that they need to do if they're at home and they're getting a video recording of me telling them what they need to do throughout the lesson is their path. And so that's 10 minutes that they do. It's direct instruction with them on things that they need to work on, and it's designed just for them and any specific student. And then we jump right into our lesson. And here are some slides that we are given. It says how we're going to explore and start off our lesson. And then they would come up with ways that how A, B, C, and D are the same and different. And in a class, we would do the same thing, but online. They would have it in their workbooks that they would be taking home. So they would circle it and put Y in their reasonings under each one. And then this is our try it. So the students would be able to, on their own, without my help, on the screencasting, I would tell them to pause their video and they would try it their own just to see where they're at, what they know. And then when they would submit it on Google Classroom, I would be able to see like where they started off with and then how they're ending after the lesson. So they would read it. If they had any questions, they can message me on GoGuardian. So I would be on my computer and I could answer right away because then I would be able to see their screen and they can message me that way. As they're watching my video, they would pause it. And then we would discuss it and I would explain how I would do it. So I would read the question for them. Aisha, Roslyn, and Cristobal share a pack of 12 cards. Aisha gets 4 cards. Roslyn gets 3 cards and Cristobal gets the rest of the cards. What fraction of the pack does Cristobal get? We'd go back to this picture. We'd count out 3 and then we'd count out 4 more and they'd get 7. So 7/12 of the cards go to Aisha and Roslyn. And then they would subtract 12/12 minus, so like the total minus the amount that the 2 other girls had, 7, and then they'd end up getting 5 cards. And that's how we get our fraction. We'd go over it. I'd go into more depth of it. And then we'd go and they'd flip the page in their books and they would answer these questions. I would tell them to pause the video, try it out themselves, and then we would go over it. When they unpause it, I would go over how you got the answer and they'd look back at their work and figure it out that way. And then they would reflect. So this would be our last question in our book. And how does knowing about equal parts help you add and subtract fractions? And then we go over the answer that way. And for me personally, recording myself teach a lesson to the students, I feel like wouldn't be that beneficial for them because there are so many different needs in my class that I feel as though a Zoom with them going over the lesson, they would unmute themselves, ask questions, and we'd go over it that way. I feel like would be super beneficial for at least my students. It might not be all students. I teach 4th grade, so they're also very young. Some of them can't read. Some of them don't have grown-ups to read to, so I feel like a Zoom, if I'm reading it to them the entire time and they can ask me again to repeat myself, I feel like it would be super beneficial. But this is a kind of lesson that they would do, and then they'd have questions in their workbook as well that they can do as well. But yeah.